Let's be clear about this. Prayer is for purging. Meditation you, is for filling the tank. So why do people pray? Look, there are forms of expression. Prayer is expression. Commonly used, among fraternities, uh, and prayer is chief among them. Then you express when you chant, when you weep, when you wail, when you sing, when you lecture, when you chat, when you preach, when you expound. All of those are expressive. So prayer is helpful, for making supplication when you're begging God. Thanksgiving when you thank Him. Adoration when you praise Him. But not for growth, not for spiritual growth, because with prayer you don't grow in perception, you know, and before you know anything, you have to first be able to perceive, conceptualize it. So that's how that works. So with meditation, you fill the tank, okay? But to fill your tank, you need to be still and stable, quiet, quiet, not talking as if you're God's advisor. So people don't understand. They talk as if though they need pictures in a book to read it. So they talk about meditation. It's boring. It's hard. It's this. It's that. You got to practice, like everything else. So I'm saying, right, that um, people express themselves in one form or the other, uh, by and large, to get things out of your system, to purge, which in turn gives them some kind of relief. Yeah, when you get the bone out your throat, you know, when you get get relief for that upset stomach or that headache, So that's what it is. Relief. You get relief. So when you're ventilating, that's what you're trying to do. Relief, expressing. Now, perception. Perception is growth. You're putting in. You're observing. That's what you're doing. So to observe, you've got to be quiet and listen. Yeah. So perception, as opposed to expression, is not ventilation, but rather the absorption of knowledge, whereby you soak in knowledge, which is to becoming enlightened. That is how you grow in knowledge, my friend. So devotees to spirituality, what they do is practice meditation. Write that down. Meditation. Devotees to spirituality, repeat, practice meditation. Right, which means they grow in perception. Notwithstanding, meditation is a manner of being, not an act. To always be consecrated, you must establish a consecrated altar within yourself. You can also consecrate the various spaces and places around you with incense, stones, plants, candles, trees, and the like, earth, yeah, and so on. So now, finally, how do rituals happen? How do they begin? A ritual is something that could have started as a routine, somebody's routine, simple routines. Somebody gets up in the morning, they have a routine for that. Coffee, tea, me, whatever. I have a routine. I live right here by the seashore, and when I get up, I want to look out to sea. That's what I do. It's refreshing, you know. And my brother's coming down, and we've got 14 acres riverside. So one of my routines will be when I wake up, I'll go and dip my toe in the water. Yeah, yeah. With my coffee cup, I'll have my coffee cup, and then maybe I'll grow the routine from there to where I get in, and I do swimming. My more recent form of exercise, swim in the place. So yeah, a ritual is something that could have started by somebody's routine. Then others find it useful enough to adapt, and in so doing, it turns out that groups it becomes a group thing, and so by consensus, people it becomes a fraternity. Yeah. So the ritual becomes something that the group practices with regularity. Now, a ritual is supposed to be something voluntary, though. Okay, not it's not it's never by force. It's not supposed to be by force. It should be the underlying feature of a ritual by design is that it is supposed to be something that works for the individual. I mean, individuals adopting it. So they gather themselves in a group of like-minded, people, form a fraternity, whether it's a temple, mosque, church, or even a hotel. People meet in hotels and practice rituals. It is commonplace for, organizations such as to have some kind of process of accepting membership. So fraternities in groups, organizations, they eventually come to that. They have, you know, criteria for membership like initiation, baptism, and the like. Together with that, they may come. They may say, well, okay, we will collect dues annually, weekly, monthly, daily, fees, donation, and the likes. Um, Even they call it offering, except offering, some people do, like Christians do, but offering is usually, uh, way back when, confined to human beings or animal sacrificing. Yeah, because offering is tied to sacrifice. So it's usually tied to that, okay? Either the whole animal or person or parts, body parts. That's the long and short of this presentation. But once again, meditation is meditation, not prayer, is the right handle for spiritual growth. Prayer is for purging. Meditation fills your tank. That will be all.